Hi everyone, welcome to School of Scarlett. I am so happy to have you here today. Today we're going to be talking about a highly requested topic, evil. And so today I'm going to be sharing with you why I'm a bad person. So I guess you can call it confessions. I'll go through various confessions here today. I don't have my list, so we'll just go with what comes up on my mind. And so we all have been part of what we also call evil. And you see, what we call evil, what we call the devil, you're going to be surprised what that's really all about. So in this video, you might be triggered, you might be offended, you may not like me very much after this video, and that's okay. But I hope that you will take the message of this video and really apply it to your life, because this is truly seeing through the veil. So many of you have come to my channel because you are curious about non-duality, you've had a non-dual glimpse, or maybe you've had a non-dual awakening. So I come to you today to share a perspective, a view from someone that has had a non-dual awakening, that doesn't see the boundaries between good and evil any longer. You see, these boundaries were never there. And non-duality truly is that. So if you are having any triggers come up, if you are having any issues coming up throughout this video, my friend, you have not discovered non-duality. This is about all inclusion. Consider it an all-inclusive resort. Everything is accepted here. There is nothing that we are going to shun. There is nothing that is wrong. There is nothing that is bad. There is nothing that shouldn't exist here. Everything that is in existence here is good. Do you have a problem with that? If so, comment down below. Everything on this plane is heaven on earth here and now, whether or not you see it. Now I'm going to be bringing forth a new idea, a new insight for you here today, and that insight is coming here soon. I call it the algorithm of evil. Now many of you are stuck in the algorithm of evil. You come to me with stories of war. You come to me with stories of abuse. You come to me with stories of animals. You come to me with stories of the past, of lineages that have suffered abuse in the past. And you carry all of the baggage here today as you sit in this moment where we are now here on heaven on earth. Why are you carrying all of this? Now I will tell you why. Because you, my friend, are the devil. You are separating within your own mind these things and calling this one evil and that one evil, this good, that bad, and creating your own separation within your own being, within your own vessel, and within the world, the collective. And you yourself are doing this. No one outside of yourself is creating evil but you. And many people don't understand why I focus on good when there is so much evil in the world. People come to me and ask, why don't you watch the news? Why don't you know everything that's happening with this war or that war? Now, there's a lot of wars occurring currently, are there not? So, do you know everything occurring in every single war? Or are you just focused on this war or that war? What side are you on? Are you only on this side, or do you see that side? You see, to have total understanding of this life, we need to be aware of everything. We need to have understanding. And when we don't have understanding, we are the devil, because we are choosing a side. And when we choose a side, we condemn the other. And when we condemn the other, truly, we are creating evil in this world. You, my friend, are the devil creating evil in this world by saying that this is evil and that is evil and this shouldn't exist and that should change. Do you see that? How is it that you're doing this? Very simply, you're doing it with your focus, with your attention, but more so because you are identifying as a self. Because you think that you are so great and mighty, that you are an individual self outside of this collective. You don't have the respect for all. You think that you are the center of this universe. And my friend, in some ways you are. But you see, you're not separate from anything in this universe. So as soon as you condemn something and you create a separation, you create a fight, you create a battle, you create a war within yourself and within the collective. So you, my friend, are the devil. You, my friend, are evil. And you, my friend, are creating evil here on earth. Now, I was a devil. I am still a devil. We are all going to continue being devils so long as we continue to appear in our illusion, be here on earth. All of this occurs from survival. All of us here believe that we are an individual being that has something to protect. Its identity, its name, its lifestyle, its belongings, whatever it happens to be, its money, its worth, whatever it happens to be, it has something to protect. So in order to protect that illusion that's arising, it has to condemn the other. It has to say that that one is bad. It has to say that the one that wants what it has, or the one that is in some way threatening its survival, it has to condemn that one in order for it to survive at the way it wants to survive. You see, it's very selfish. It doesn't want to share. It doesn't want to give to others. It doesn't want to play the games. It doesn't really truly want to understand someone's other side. It wants to preserve its side. It wants to preserve what it has. So truly, look within your heart. When you are choosing a side, why are you choosing that side? Why did you choose that sports team as opposed to the other sports team? Why did you choose this family member as opposed to that family member? Why did you choose this person as opposed to that person? Why did you choose this business as opposed to that business? There's selfishness there. You see that? Now, I used to be the kind of person that would watch a ton of documentaries because I truly enjoyed watching that. I'm a person that has been very highly immersed in psychology and sociology, in things of the human nature, has always intrigued me. So I watched a ton of documentaries on Netflix. I watched a ton of documentaries on all kinds of other platforms, everything. I've been watching documentaries since I was very young. And I would watch these documentaries and I would immediately become so sad. Why? Because there was children that were suffering. Because there was people that were being made to work at clothing factories, sweat factories like they call them. There's people that were being made to be basically essentially slaves, working, collecting shrimp and prawns and just different things. I watched all kinds of documentaries. There's people that are, children that are taking apart electronics and getting involved in so many things that are toxic for them. Everything to do with animals. I became a raw food vegan for a while because of a movie called Earthlings, where I saw images of animals being tortured for the sake of us having a mink jacket, of us having some food on the table, this and that. So what happened? My heart began to break. I began to hurt. I began to suffer. I began to get small. I didn't know what to do. I began to feel a lot of pain. I was in a lot of pain. And that's because I was in the algorithm of evil, okay? I had tuned in to these documentaries that were showing, we could say, real life things. But you see, everything here is an illusion, my friend. So when we're seeing these images, it's just as if we're seeing any other image. There's no difference between this table and this shirt or this top. This is all the same energy, as if you could see it as, let's say, gold. We melt down gold. Everything here you see is essentially gold. My friend, there's a bobcat on the other side of this camera. I cannot tell you how many animals have come into my existence when I'm outside now. This is, oh, it's coming over here. And I don't know if my dog sees it. Blue. All right, So that just went back into the trees, and my dog Blue is literally right here, has not seen anything, which is crazy. This isn't the first time that I've seen this bobcat, so no worries, but I'm really glad that I saw it once again. Anyhow, I'm not sure what we were talking about. And that's the power of animals and things like that, is that they can shift the energy so much. And you may begin to see lots of amazing animals. I've seen eagles lately. I saw, we've seen even like what so-called, we're talking about evil, bad animals too. We've seen black widows, we've seen a brown recluse, and we saw a water moccasin all within the same week. So we've been seeing a lot of animals out here, but animals have a way of shifting energy, of bringing excitement. Have you noticed that? It's a different kind of excitement. It's a very genuine excitement, right? Anyhow, so that animal showing up right now, that animal has been exciting me for a long time, because the first time I saw it was on in my backyard by a pond. And I wasn't sure if I was seeing it clearly or if I was just imagining things. So I told my husband of this story, that I saw this bobcat, and I even thought of putting out game cameras and stuff because I really wanted to see it. And I keep looking and looking and looking for it, and I saw it again, and I saw it again. So what happened now? It changed the algorithm here. We were talking about evil, and all of a sudden there's this genuine smile on my face, and my energy has shifted a bit. Why? Because the algorithm of evil has left the building. And of course, we're not in a building. We're not even in anything. Okay, we're in whatever we want to be. But that animal shifted us to kind of this wonder, this excitement. Now, if I had been sitting here and we're making this video and I pause the video for a moment because I overhear something on a TV that's playing in the background that sounds very important about a war. So I pause my video and I go over there and listen to it. And I see tragic images of people that are hurt, people that are injured, just tragic images. Then I come back and sit down here. What's going to happen? I'm going to be in the algorithm of evil. And I'm going to be perceiving and admitting that that is truth, that evil is real, that it is happening, that it is occurring, that is something that we have to fight, that is something that we have to go against, that it is a battle we have to engage in. And all of my energy, all of my focus, all of my creativity will have died. And it would have now been fed into the stream of evil algorithm. And whatever else I was going to do today, I was going to paint a picture of a Hartman Bridge. And I'm no longer going to paint that painting. Why? Because my algorithm has changed to evil. And so now when I get off of this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go inside and turn on the news. Then I'm going to look at some news stories. Then I'm going to call my mom. Then I'm going to call this person and that person and talk about what I've learned about what is happening in the world right now and how horrible that is. And then I may even get onto some prophecies and start thinking that the world's going to end, and I might start stockpiling food, and I might be giving things away and acting very radically. Now, that is what happens when you feed into the algorithm of evil. Now, if I had chosen something different, to just not engage in things that are not of good, then I would have never been in the algorithm to begin with. I don't have TVs on in my house. I don't listen to the news but once a day, but I discern it. Okay? My days are filled with my own reality. I create my reality. Nothing enters my reality that I do not want here. I go the places I want to go. I do the things I want to do. I immerse myself in those things that are nourishing to me. But when I used to immerse myself in things like documentaries, like things of pain, stories of suffering, stories of victimhood, watching how everybody that was part of this group got scammed, how everybody that was part of this group all of a sudden, got hurt, or how these people lost a ton of money, or the story of this person that this happened to them. No, I don't engage in that. I love true stories. It's one of my favorite things to read, write, listen to, watch on TV are true stories. But I prefer to listen to true stories that are uplifting, that are of good. When we place on our eyes and our focus on those things that are good, we get more of those things that are good. Have you noticed on maybe your Instagram or on your Google or whatever you have, when you start to search certain things, when you start to look up certain things and be engaged in certain things, you get shown more of that. When I'm on Instagram and I look at a certain reel, and that reel is about a girl that's depressed and crying and sharing her story of some victimhood, I listen to that. I'm captivated. I'm like, what is wrong? And I listen to this. What happens for the rest of the day? I get more and more stories of depression. And by the end of the day, I'm thinking I'm depressed. Now I can't be the only one that's happening to. Reflect. The algorithm that is now being shown to you on Instagram, on every other social media and internet platform, is essentially a symbol to you, to that algorithm of evil that I am bringing forth to you, something to pay attention to. If you find yourself in a wheel, in a circle, going round and round about these sad stories of this child was abused, these women were hurt, and now we're on this crusade and that's all we're thinking about, that's all we're doing. What's happening? Your energy, your life force energy is being leaked out into this illusion, this really sad illusion that exists in the collective, but doesn't have to exist in your reality. It's just as an illusion as you being at Disneyland having the time of your life. So when we pull ourselves back into the algorithm of whoever you are, the algorithm of Scarlett Nydia, I am now out here in nature. I am feeling peace. I can go pet my animals. There is no war happening here. This vessel is at peace. This environment is at peace. I don't see anyone being hurt here. Check your environment. Is your environment safe? If your environment is safe, you have a huge advantage. Now you can create. Now, if your environment is not safe, if you truly are in a war, if you truly are in some situation that you have no control over or can get out of, then it's a little more difficult. But believe it or not, there are a lot of people that have written books that have been in torturous, horrific situations, and they haven't seen it that way. They've held a different perspective throughout it, and it is amazing. And I will link any books that I think of down in the description, because there are some people that have written some books, like from the Holocaust and things like that, that is out of this world. And those are the kind of things that if we are so focused on war, evil, those bad things or so-called bad things, we should maybe learn from those who have actually been there, what it has been like. And most of the times they will tell you it was horrific, but they'll tell you the other side of how they made it through. If they are still here, they will tell you how they made it through. And in that story, my friend, that's the missing piece that you're missing when you're listening to the news story online or on your TV or wherever you're at. You're missing the divine nature that meets the person that are in these situations. And those stories don't come out till much later. So my friend, you'll be trapped in an algorithm of evil for many years, believing these stories of illusions, yet you don't understand what is going on for that individual. We don't need to get involved in anybody else's situation. We can allow free will to work for other people. We can allow them to be their own sovereign being and use their own life force energy without having to leak ours. We can keep ours for our own use. We can be creative beings by staying in the algorithm of whoever we are. That way we can create those things that align with this being, because war and all of these things do not align with this being, do not align with those things that this being now knows. So if you have come to know non-duality, if you have come to know unconditional love, if you have come to know everything, then my friend, those things don't exist in your reality. Sooner or later, you don't pay any attention to them, and guess what? They don't show up in your feed. They don't show up in your feed. They don't show up in your feed Many people ask me, how come, you know, why don't you pay attention to this? It's a real thing, this and that. It's not happening in my feed. Now, there were times that it was definitely happening in my feed. You see, I was a social worker. I was fighting for social causes. I fought a lot for social causes. So don't come at me and tell me that I need to go fight for something. I fought enough. My friend, those are illusions that you can get trapped in to lose your way, and you will not be able to bring forth your own unique flavor into this world. You'll be funneled into these beliefs that there are all of these demonic things happening that you have to go fight for. My friend, you just have to be yourself. You just have to be love. You just have to abide in the goodness, see the beauty in life, and your heart, my friend, will lead you along your path. That's how simple it is. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, if you are just totally confused, or maybe you know what I'm talking about, but you don't feel it, you don't understand it, you don't know what to do, the first step you're going to do is just follow your heart. Align with that. Rather than being defensive and creating evil in this world by saying, oh, she's wrong, I'm right. Have an open mind. Open-mindedness will get you very, very far in this world, and that is all you got to do. So have an open mind. Have an open heart. And place your focus on those things that are good, and you will now be working with the algorithm of you rather than the algorithm of evil. Now, my friends, I said that I was going to have some confessions here. Many of you think that you are bad and evil people. Isn't that true? That you're hiding some bad and evil secret. That no one can truly love you. That you are truly unworthy deep down inside. That whatever you want will never be yours because you committed some sin. My friend, there is no sins other than misaligning yourself and believing that you are something that you are not. Believing that you are a peasant. Believing that you are a beggar when you are not. You are not a beggar. You are not a peasant. You don't need to search for anything. You don't need to beg for anything. You don't need to pray for anything. You are everything. Now, when you align yourself with the paradigm of you are everything, everything changes. So people come to me with huge amounts of guilt. They want to smoke weed, but they can't. Their spouse won't let them. Their job won't let them. Their community judges them. Their children judge them, whatever it is. You're not a bad person because you want to do this. People want to say you're a bad person because you do this, because you smoke weed, because you do alcohol, because you play poker, because you dance, because you play the lottery. Get a life, guys. That does not make you a bad person. So tired of hearing my most loveliest of friends being shackled by the chains of believing the lies of these so-called righteous people. What makes you any better than this person that is in pain at this moment and needs to smoke a cigarette? To judge them. What makes you any better to judge this person for being overweight? What makes you any better for judging this person because they are not the most beautiful people physically? Or a mismatched couple, or whatever you want to say. What makes you a better person to do that? To judge someone else for those things? I feel sorry for people like that do not have the open-mindedness or the ability to stretch their mind, to understand a deeper level of love that's not superficial, that doesn't have to do with everything being perfect on the outward side. Understanding the depths of a person, the changes, the things that occur. You're not a bad person because you went to jail once. You're not a bad person because you went to jail twice. You're not a bad person because you went to jail, period. You're not a bad person because you made a mistake in your life. You're redeemed here and now. Redeem yourself of those shackles. Get out of that algorithm of evil and tell those people to F off. There is no such thing. And you are just as worthy in every single moment as anyone else. Step into all of your power and do not allow anyone to leak or take anything from you by helping or making you believe things that are totally illusory. This thing that this person is saying is no more illusory than your idea of it. You decide. My friend, when you align with the algorithm of you, you get more of you. You get less of evil. You get less of these people that are judgmental. You get less of these discrepancies and polarities in the world. You still have them, but they diminish in your reality. They don't hold power in your reality. The world could be going to crap. The economy could be going bad. People could be saying that they can't afford groceries, they can't do this, they can't do that. In your reality, what's happening in your reality? Those things don't exist in my reality. They don't. I don't pay attention to them and I don't give them energy, and they just don't, they're not able to flourish. Just like a seed without water or soil, I starve those things. As soon as someone tells me we don't have the money, we can't do this or that, I don't pay attention to that. Those are illusions, my friend. And just like those small things are illusions, those big things that you're holding on to within your own soul, thinking that you are a bad person because you don't talk to your mother anymore, or because you didn't raise your child, or because you got involved in drugs at some point in your life and missed out on things. That does not make you a bad person at all. You are love. And everything, my friend, that storm of all those things that has been happening has happened perfectly. And this is heaven on earth. As soon as you lift that veil, if I was able to lift that veil for you, you'd see it. And then you'd laugh. Because it's the biggest cosmic joke in the world. I hope that today you will see that you are a bad person, that you are a good person, and so is everyone else. And that's okay. I love you.